Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us.
I know. I should. I've
Just
I was
let me
thinking
do
about
it. I'll
doing
get rid of it today.
Just AI it, because I'm gonna
I
actually
mean,
print it out.
I'll Photoshop it and then I'll clean it up. It'll be really easy.
Because I'm gonna print it out and put it like big. I want to put it in black and white and have like a big print on it. And I'm always
Let me do it then.
fuck, you fucked up the photo.
No, put a little smiley face emoji.
Nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about. And we're gonna keep it that way. Okay. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Newsbrief. It is 12 on the dot. Today is January 26th. It is 83 degrees and partly cloudy here in Florida. While people are shoveling snow, I saw a video just a little while ago of Rob plowing the snow in his house. I'm so happy to live in Florida, and
It's the only plowing Rob is going to be doing anytime soon.
Well, maybe that's not including the receiving end.
Cheers.
Patty knows all about the receiving end.
And joined by us today is not Rob. Rob's
Rob's
not here
a
today.
pipe broke in his basement, and he's not able to make it. I'm sure you can hear about it for the next 15 episodes he does about how he truly wanted to be here.
Well, at least if some shit pops off, he won't be arrested for it.
Yeah.
Wow, he's gonna hate me for that comment so much. I'm joined by my gracious guests, co-hosts. I'm sorry, Barry, Kim, and Patty. Barry, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be back. It's been a while. I feel like a millennium, has been without you guys. So, sad. I missed y'all. Happy to be here.
Unfortunately, I have to deal with him every day, so
That's
that
true.
does not apply to me.
Does not apply to you.
What's up, Kim?
Just surviving.
Yeah. Yeah. Patty.
Well, it's a beautiful day in New England.
Shut up.
It's 22 degrees, and we got about a foot of snow, and we're going to get about 5 inches more today. So psyched about that.
Can you make sure during the news brief you go on some long tangent and detailed story about snow that nobody wants to hear?
Yeah. Please.
Yes, definitely I can do
Thank
that,
you.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something about 1997.
Oh, geez.
We had... Fuck off.
And booted.
Yeah. Thanks. Let's take him out of here. He's gone. All right. So today, actually, we're going to talk about something cold. Every time somebody talks about Minnesota, and I've known a couple people from Minnesota, they're rare. As a Floridian, Minnesotans are very rare. And they always talk about how fucking cold it is. And like when I started seeing all these issues happening over there, that's what I remember too. That's like what my brain defaults to. I'm like, oh my God, it's cold. Like, how do you do this in the fucking cold? And it's nuts. How do you get this wild in the cold? And another thing is that this story about Minnesota has pretty much clouded everything else it's eclipsed everything that's been going on, to the point where like I can't think of, we're thinking about topics today. I'm like, what else is going on? And nobody was able to answer. It's because this is such a big issue. and I think a distracting issue too. But we wouldn't be us if we didn't talk about what was trending and what people were talking about. So today we're going to talk about Minnesota and all the shit that's gone down in the past week, including the shooting that just happened the other day. I feel like almost all of us disagree on, and I do wish Rob was here. And I think Rob has like some very unique insight on the shooting. But let's start with that shooting. I don't want to show it. I think everybody's seen it already. And it's not that it's gruesome. It's just everybody's seen it already. So let's start with Patty. Patty, what's your take on the shooting? These are the facts as I see it. And then you correct me if I'm wrong here. Gentleman was filming the ICE agents. He was carrying. Holstered, and as you see in the video, there's an altercation, and he gets in the middle, and he tries to kind of stop them from doing their job. There's a scuffle. He goes to the ground, and it looks like they disarm him. And it seems as though, because I haven't seen official reports, but I've seen a lot of internet professionals here. The gun misfires because it's a SIG
P20,
and I hear gun, and you hear a couple shots, and you see the gentleman go to the ground. And then the controversy after that is, we'll talk about that later. But what do you see, and what do you think about it, Eddie?
All right. Obviously, he was disarmed before he was shot. We see that in the video. We see one of the Border Patrol or ICE agents with his handgun in his hand, and then they shoot him. Not only do they shoot him, but there are 10 rounds fired, right? I don't exactly know how many rounds you need to be sure of, like for a guy who's on his back. Let's be clear. He's on his back and he's getting rounds pumped into him. I don't know how many shooters there were, if everybody decided, because this is what ICE likes to do and what a lot of cops like to do. Everyone wants to get their licks in, right? So you see a bunch of people. There's 6 guys swarming this dude, right? Who's about my size, basically, right? You think it takes 6 guys throwing punches and haymakers and kicks and all this stuff. You see the one guy, he's throwing crazy punches, completely unprofessional, right? And there are police chiefs and police officers who have been on television over the last several days talking about how unprofessional these guys are. Well, you know why they're unprofessional? Because they're all just jackasses that everyone said, hey, we'll give you $50K to sign up and beat the shit out of somebody. And they were like, yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, well, that's what they want to do. These guys didn't shoot him because they were afraid. They shot him because they wanted to. That's what they signed up for. These guys are idiots. They're even stupider than regular cops, which is hard to do. But they are actually dumber than regular police. The only organization in this country stupider than your local police department is ICE. And we see it on a daily fucking basis. These guys have absolutely no humanity. They did what they wanted to do, and they're going to get away with it, because what's going to happen now is that, because Kristi Noem came out and said that he was a domestic terrorist, right? And you guys ought to know that being called a domestic terrorist does not make you one, because you were both convicted of being domestic terrorists, and you're both not that, and I know it, right? And any reasonable person knows it. But you're happy to let these guys say, oh, he's a domestic terrorist. Why? Because he was carrying a gun legally? I thought the right wing was all about legal carry. And it's that just because you happen to have a gun doesn't mean that we get to shoot you. And I heard a lot of people on the right talk about, hey, you can't, if you bring a gun to a protest, you're asking for it. Well, I remember being at a protest with you, Enrique, in 2020, on January 20th, 2020, in Richmond, Virginia, where it was the gun nut rally. Well, everybody had
Rob,
massive.
You're not on screen, so they can't hear you.
Everybody had guns, right? It was like that scene in Boardwalk Empire. We all got guns, everybody had guns, right? And that was a protest, but that was okay. Right. But this kid has a gun in his fucking, in a holster or whatever.
But there's a difference.
They decide that they can shoot him. There really isn't a difference. What I'm saying is this guy had a gun, and
go fuck yourself, Barry.
so many people on TV are saying, oh, well, he shouldn't have had a gun, so therefore, it's okay to shoot him. Well, what if the cops decided to shoot everybody who had a gun in Virginia? That's ridiculous. That's a bullshit argument.
You're making a bunch of straw man arguments, in my opinion.
Patty, look,
I'm making strong man arguments.
I think
you never do that.
So, Patty, look, I think. Well, first off, somebody said it. Patty, how do you know the ICE agents wanted to shoot him?
Because they're scumbags. That's how I know.
I'm going to give my opinion, then we'll go to Rob, because I know he had some strong feelings, and then we'll go Barry and Kim. So you got to look at the overall picture as an ICE agent there on the ground and look at all the factors that come in. Number one, you're working in a very hostile work environment, right? Where you're getting followed. We just saw Cam Higby release like the signal chats. There's like some organized situation, and there's a little bit of feedback on your mic, Reno.
Oh, my bad, homie.
So since it's as heated as it is, they're on high alert all the time, and this person, no matter what you think of it, right? I don't believe that you should be shot just because I saw one of the attorney generals, and I believe it's from Minnesota, the federal attorney general from Minnesota, say something like, he shouldn't have been carrying and gone up to law enforcement. I disagree with that. You should be able to carry and be in the presence of law enforcement, right? Be in the presence of law enforcement. I believe that. I think he misspoke on Twitter. Maybe not. He got community noted on it. I also heard, I don't know who said this. Oh, he was carrying a whole bunch of rounds. He was carrying 2 mags, right? Which is typical. That's what you carry. You'll carry an extra mag, maybe a second. I think that would be the limit for you to
get arrested for that once.
Yeah, but those would be illegal in DC. So let's start with that. So I'll say where I agree with you on some substance here, but in the overall perspective, I think you're wrong because of all the elements that go along with this. Yes, you should carry, right? And you should be allowed to carry, and you should be in the presence of law enforcement. 2, you should never put yourself, this is the important part. You should never put yourself in a situation where you're carrying and you're fighting with a federal officer. You're just asking for trouble.
That's what you take from that video, that he initiated the contact. He's the one who got shoved. He did not initiate that contact.
He's pulling, on the video.
He was trying to pull that girl off the ground.
If he was recording, his responsibility as somebody who's carrying, right, is to step back because he could make that situation much worse.
Jesus Christ. You guys,
he should make that situation much worse. It doesn't
It's as
matter.
if you guys never got, this is an alternate universe in which January 6th never happened, and you guys were never part of a situation where you got the tail end of this deal.
You're comparing apples to oranges, bro.
No, it's not. It's apples to apples. What I would say is that Ashley Babbitt did not deserve to get shot, and that was murder, and we've all agreed on that for years, right?
Ashley Babbitt didn't have a gun on her.
Renee Good didn't need to get murdered, and neither did Alex. This is I'm the only one who doesn't have to twist myself into ideological.
You're actually twisting yourself to get to that logic. You're twisting yourself to hold that logic.
I'm across the board, even
no, you're not.
Everybody on this.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Sorry. No,
how am I not? I'm saying it's all police brutality.
Because Renee Good had a 4,000-pound weapon. Ashley Babbitt was not armed. Those are key factors in those things. Key factors that you're conveniently leaving out. No, you're full of shit for leaving the key factors and key facts out of the argument. That's what Democrats do. They leave key facts out so they can have a narrative.
See, we're trying to have an argument. We're trying to have an argument based on facts, and you gotta go to political
then present all the facts, Patty.
But
present all the
facts. I just did.
No, you didn't. You left out the fact that Ashley Babbitt wasn't armed. You left out the fact that Renee drove her car and was instigating police officers all day. You left out those facts conveniently.
Let's just admit to the audience what we all know. You guys believe that if it's a liberal that gets shot, fuck him. But if it's a conservative, we have to have a civil rights uprising.
Nope.
That's what it is.
No.
It's just my
That's
team,
your more
your
straw
team.
man
That's what
Democrat
it is.
bullshit. Because you want to leave out facts and not present the whole
no.
story so you can present a false narrative.
But
That's what you're doing.
But I, who didn't think Ashley Babbitt was a decent person. I thought she was a straight up idiot. But I don't think that her life was worth any less than Renee Good's or that Alex's life was
and it
worth
wasn't.
any less.
And it wasn't.
Like, it's all even
nobody's
to me.
saying that,
But nobody's saying that.
Nobody's
Again, you're
saying
misrepresenting the argument. No,
Yes,
we're
you
not.
are.
We're not.
You're ridiculous.
You're saying
everything
you're
is
saying
live.
that by her.
You know, listen, he's not stupid. You know you're carrying and you involve yourself in any capacity. You involve yourself and you put yourself.
He was
in
disarmed
harm's way.
and then shot.
Okay, and
disarmed
then
shot.
I haven't even gotten
Within
to
a
that
few
part yet.
seconds. Like, I
haven't even gotten to
so
that part yet. Already,
I don't
put
have a gun
yourself-
anymore, but you can kill me.
Hold on.
we have the luxury of being able to watch it in retrospect, not live it in the moment. And you're completely ignoring the fact that these instances that you're saying happened within moments of each other. You're
Because
also
they wanted to
ignoring
shoot
the
him.
chaos.
They wanted to shoot him. That's what they signed up
So you're
for.
the
That's why they're
grand
wearing
psychic.
masks.
You don't get to say that.
Wearing
Patty.
masks so that their families
I do,
don't
actually.
get
It's a free
doxxed
country.
and harassed.
Listen, look. Here's a situation. You know that you're carrying. You put yourself in between another person and a federal officer, right? You're getting pulled
Now you
to the
revere
ground.
federal officers.
You're
How much of
pulled-
a hypocrite can you possibly be?
Hold on, Patty. Hold on. I let you talk.
Yeah.
You're resisting a federal officer, right? On top of that, now let's talk about the ground game.
I'm hearing.
Let's talk about the ground game and let's look at it from the perspective of these officers, right? So you're on the ground, right? You're disarming this officer, right? And there's multiple perspectives here. It's not one. And the cloud, we could look at and we could freeze frame it all we want because in the federal officer's eyes, there is no freeze frame, right? There's what's happening in real time. They disarm him. The gun seems to be discharged, and you hear one of the officers say, "Gun, gun, gun." Legal precedent, right, shows that that's all it takes, right, for an officer to act legally, right? And you don't have all the perspective. You're not seeing the front of him. You're behind him, or you're in front of him, and you're not seeing anything behind. And one of your fellow officers say gun, 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 you got to neutralize. Is it right? Is it correct? Did he lose his life? Yes. But he put himself in the situation where he's scuffling with officers on the ground.
Look, all I can say, and this is, I don't want to monopolize the conversation, but all I can say, and this is the last thing I'll point out.
No, it's okay because I think you're the only one that's on the opposite end of this. So feel free to.
The idea that you guys who have been abused by the federal government would say the words federal officer with such veneration is like, it's like a Stockholm syndrome situation or a bizarro world that I would never have believed could possibly come out of your mouth, Enrique. Federal officers, you need to. Are you kidding me? Federal officers effed you guys completely for years. And now you're ready. You want to suck their dicks? Like, what's wrong with you? What the hell happened?
I'm not. Listen, you got to look at it case by case. But go ahead, Rob. Hit it.
No, go ahead. Patty wanted to finish.
No, I'm done. That was it.
So Patty brings up the VCDL day, and they have it every year. And you notice how not one of those guys that are open carrying ARs have ever gotten shot, right? Not once.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Why is that?
Because the
why is that? No. Why is that? Why haven't any of those guys been shot? They're
because
open carrying. No, they're open carrying AR. Wait, hang on. They're open carrying AR.
That's a cuss.
You asked me a question. I'll give you an
They're open
answer.
carrying ARs. Loaded,
I've only been there
one
once.
in the chain. Okay, well they have it every year.
Right. I've only been there once, but that year, Enrique will remember, he was running for Congress at the time. He had a suit on. It was really, really kind of cute.
I did not have.
You should have won.
I had a tie on.
He had a tie. I will call that a suit, I guess. Anyway,
monkey suit.
so me and Pickles are out there freezing our Charles Dickens off and taking photos. It was frigid that day. I got a lot of great photos, But the reason I think that there was no violence is because every single person in that entire crowd agreed with each other. There were like 20,000 people, and they all had the same opinion.
Right. But
so there was no like
no. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about the people in the audience. I'm talking about between them and law enforcement, because law enforcement in Virginia are the ones that are subjugating their Second Amendment rights, right?
Well,
so if there was ever going to be, wait, hang on,
outgunned.
Well, it doesn't matter whether they're outgunned or not.
I think they were scared. Seriously, they were scared.
Well, that's what our government should be. That's what our government should be feeling. By the way,
that's what I'm screaming, Rob. I agree with you.
Well, they were scared. That's why they.
Of course, they were. Right, but my point is this. My point is this. You're conflating two very vastly different things. Our government's primary purpose is to keep its citizenry safe. Make sure that we have life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and our sovereignty, right? That is number one, as far as I'm concerned, what our federal government should be doing.
Of course.
Right? Okay. Their job is to get rid of the illegal parasitic invaders. These guys in ICE, as much as I don't like law enforcement, their job is to take these people who have stolen, obviously, and it's factual, billions of dollars off out of this fucking country.
Hey, Rob,
right?
Can you turn your level just like a quarter down?
Yeah, it sounds like you're screaming and you're not screaming.
I'm not. Hold on.
It's because he has terminal audio illness.
Yeah, whatever. Is that better, dude? Is that better?
No, it's the same.
No, it's the same.
I actually just turned it down on the app itself.
Well,
somebody said
on the
roadcaster. Mic about 3 feet.
On the roadcaster, just bring it down a quarter, like right around here.
Somebody says that Rob has Michael Savage radio voice, which is meaning that he's screaming.
Well, that's not.
I mean, it could be
I'm
Mark
not really
LinkedIn, right?
really fucking screaming, but
tiny head.
How's that? Is that better?
That's better.
A lot better.
All right, good. So the job of ICE is to right the wrongs of the Biden administration over the last 4 years. Okay, between Clinton and Obama, 25 million people were deported from this country. The left didn't say shit about that. Not one thing. You didn't complain. Nobody on the left complained about the fucking children that were actually in cages when Obama was deporting them.
Hey, we called Obama the deporter in chief. I mean, like that was known that he deported more people than Trump ever will.
Maybe you did, but the majority of the left did not say boo about that. ICE's job, its only function is to take these illegals, all of them, and get them the fuck out of our country. If you are stepping in with something, listen, dude, I have never been happy with the government. I don't like this government. I don't trust this government. I don't even give a shit that President Trump is in. I still don't trust the government. There is a deep state. These people they don't give a shit about us as far as citizens go. And that's because in my lifetime, I've never seen the government do anything for the people. Finally, a government that I voted for is doing something for the people, and the fucking idiots on the left are trying their damnedest. And you know what? This should not be a partisan issue. These people stole our tax dollars from us. During COVID, they prospered. They took our shit. They stole from us. They're killing our children. They're raping our children. These people need to be thrown the fuck out. You want to come in this country, do it the right way. ICE's sole purpose is to get illegals out. Not just brown people, anybody who's fucking illegal. They're going after Somalis because of the $3 or $4 billion that were stolen during the fucking Biden administration. So if you are somebody that wants to protest this, you stand on the corner.
Hold on, Patty, don't respond, because
you stand on the corner and you say, I don't like ICE. You hold your fucking sign. That's protesting. If you get in the middle of ICE while they're doing their jobs, if you physically put yourself in between them, that moment is the fuck around and find out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, dude.
Barry.
And I don't believe the dude should have been shot.
Oh, my God. Barry.
All right. Well, okay. I think, you're looking at Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the same exact play card by the same exact people around the same exact time to achieve the same exact goal. The midterms are coming up, and it's nothing more than a convenient opportunity for the apparatuses and the left-wing media to propagate a bullshit situation just like they did with I Can't Breathe to get people to go crazy. And in this time, it's actually dear to their heart because they don't want people looking at the fraud that Nick Shirley uncovered. And so back to Patty, it's very this is indicative to how Democrats operate. You only present one side of the story. You don't wait for the facts. You don't care about the facts because at the end of the day, you guys know you're full of shit. You guys know you're wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about the revolution. It's about the fact that the Democrat Party hates America and wants to bring America down. So whatever they can do to paint anything as white supremacy and Nazi this and Nazi that. Our streets are flooded with crime because of liberal ideology. Our streets, our Democrat metropolises are falling apart because of liberal ideology. These people are jumping in front of ICE doing their job, that in which the American people voted for because of liberal ideology. And that's the problem.
Well, I would just say in response
no
to
one
Rob,
asked. Shut up. Kim, your turn. Not monopolizing it. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
No.
Kim, go.
Hey, Rob, like
what?
So being that you're a fellow New Englander or, have been for a long time, do you think there's any chance at all that ICE decides to go into Dorchester and Southie and deport all the illegal Irish bartenders and waitresses anytime soon?
Yes.
I hope so.
You know damn well that's not going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen.
No, we want it
because
to
they're white.
happen.
No, it's never going to happen.
Come on, dude.
Are they illegal?
It's never going to happen.
Are they white illegals?
All the Canadians. Look at all the Canadians that went back.
Support Canadians.
There's a shit ton that went back. Thousands.
All
White
right,
Canadians.
Let's go to Kim.
There you go.
No,
Straw man. Straw man.
That one hit a
card.
little too close to home.
But I don't
Straw
see them
man
doing
race
that to
card.
I don't see them doing that to Asians either.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all know that they only target
because they're
certain
white.
people.
Because they're white,
Actually,
right? No,
it makes
Asians
sense.
aren't white.
I know. I'm being
It makes sense that you would
sarcastic.
Go after the
Go ahead,
people
Kim.
who. I'm just I'll touch on this before I make my point, but it absolutely makes sense that you would go for the people first who are not only the biggest burden, but present the biggest threat to our society at large. I said it in the beginning briefly, and I want to bring it back to this. We all have the luxury of viewing this from multiple angles at any speed, zoomed in. We have the time to sit here with our talking points and argue with each other about it for an hour. These agents, and I've historically been anti-cop. I've historically been anti-federal government. That doesn't change, but I'm also a realist, and I'm not a fucking retard for the most part. And I'm not retarded enough to think that if you interject yourself in this kind of situation, you should expect to walk away scot-free. You should participate to the extent that you let them fuck up, you let them be and you take them to court for it later. Now, regardless of any of this, again, we can't. I think it differs from the Renee Good situation because Renee Good was she had a lethal weapon in the form of a 4-ton vehicle. She was advancing towards the officer. The officer was hit. I think in that case, it was justified self-defense. In this case, the guy definitely shouldn't have been shot. I mean, first of all, I don't know what kind of, they talk about, the left is so armed. The left is really well armed. This moron didn't know not to get a gun that is notorious for just firing. It actually killed a woman sitting on the table in front of her. It just fucking went off. So, again, a dumb choice in weapon made by, a dumb choice in weapon made by a stupid person who doesn't understand anything about firearms. And again, the gun does look like it was accidentally discharged from the footage. There's a couple of different arguments you can make about that. But in a situation like that where you have horns and whistles and screaming and your fellow agents are yelling gun and the guy is armed, it does, like, I understand why it happened. Do I think in a court of law this might still play out as accidental or unintentional homicide? I forget the formal term for that, but I think that's 100% manslaughter. Yeah, thank you. I think that that's definitely possible for this in a way that I don't believe it is for Renee Good. But do I think that in the moment it made sense? It probably did. It also, it does lead us to the further point that we need to have these people better trained. But the problem exists and persists because we need the bodies, because there are too many people here that need to just be gone.
So, you know what, Patty? You come from a lens of not having any like actual experience in this, okay? So what I'm going to offer Patty is this. I'm doing a training in March. We're using simunitions. I will pay for your ticket, and you are going to come and be on the you're going to come and be on the range. These are actual 9mm shells. You're going to put yourself in the position, and then I want to see how your position changes after that.
Totally down.
I will pay for the ticket. I'll film it all.
Hey, if it's free, it's for me.
Look up simunitions and see what it is. You're getting shot with real guns.
Yeah.
Okay. And until you've actually been in a situation where where you do something like that, you see somebody with a gun, dude. Everything that I've done as far as the training goes, as far as what I do on the range here, when people come here, dude, all of this stuff you got to understand. In that position, you have to put. And you know what? I got to tell you, being on Joe Lanew's grand jury kind of opened my eyes a couple months ago. Like, I have to take myself out of the fact that I don't like cops, okay? I have to take myself out of that position. I'm looking at this from somebody that's on the grand jury.
How many times did you thank a cop? How many times did you thank a cop in D.C. right in front of me when we were walking?
Because
down the line?
I didn't
thank you for your service. I heard you say it at least 10 times.
Hey, guys,
I didn't thank a cop. I thanked a man for saving my ass.
Listen, look.
No, that's not the only guy you thank.
Patty.
And you know better.
Regardless, you when they do a good job, they do a good job. But when they do a bad job, they do a bad job. That's the whole point of being
more often
objective.
than not.
Do they do bad jobs
more often than
yes.
not?
Reno, go ahead, chime in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with and I think Kim hit on it a little bit. I went over the tape and I've watched zoomed in, and I'm not gonna say that weapon did not accidentally discharge. It does look like it on the tape. When you slow down and watch and have it zoomed in on that gun, it does look like there is something that comes out of the bullet the gun did actuate. So I'm not going to go off of that narrative that that gun did not shoot. Which in a very stressful situation could have put those cops in the position where they thought that they were being fired upon.
But Reno, why did it need to be a stressful situation? The guy's just
because he
yelling.
Because liberal media. Because liberal media.
Yeah, which is what I'm going to talk about right now.
What's the problem with that? He's just yelling.
He's out there fighting Nazis.
So what?
Listen,
The
look,
very
what does that matter?
there.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Every time,
guys,
look what's going on.
Reno.
Okay,
actually, go. You were talking. I'm sorry.
Look what's going on in Minnesota, and as soon as they roll out in those cars, they are already put in a stressful situation, right? So those guys wake up in a stressful situation. You've never been on. You were on a ship in the middle of the ocean. You've never been put on the ground where people are fucking physically fucking putting. You wake up in a stressful situation. Okay, so and they're going out and they don't know what's going on, right? They don't know what's coming at them. I don't believe that the guy should have been shot. I can't fault the officers for thinking that they were being fired upon by looking at the evidence of whether that weapon accidentally discharged or not, whether it malfunctioned or not.
Yeah. So to touch on what Reno just said. So why was it a difficult situation? And I'll tell you why. And Barry had something to say about it earlier this morning when we were talking about it. So the media, the elected officials, I've never seen elected officials like egg things on as much as they have. We saw the tweet from AOC. We saw the tweets from Mayor Frey. We've seen tweets from Walz. Imagine a world where whether you agree with ICE or not, you let them do their job, right? You could protest them with signs outside or whatever. But imagine a world where you just let ICE do their job and then legally, you want to fight them on these deportations, fine. But you keep calling these ICE agents Nazis. You keep calling them Proud Boys. You keep calling them Oath Keepers. And these idiots, including
calling names is now a problem.
No,
that's
shut
a problem.
Up, Patty. You know exactly what he's fucking talking about. See,
that's not about calling names. They're asking for physical resistance. Is what they're asking for. Go on the streets and resist these people and resist them physically. right?
It
isn't about words.
that. You're calling for actually armed conflict against them.
As an ICE
physically
agent
resisting
that wants to do these deportations, or
that's not protected by the First Amendment.
You want to take the 50 grand, whatever, for whatever it is. You're in a fucking stressful work environment, and these guys are pushing you everywhere, and one of them's armed, and a firearm gets discharged, right? The first thing you think is that this guy fired a weapon, fired at me, or fired at one of the officers there. This wouldn't have happened without people like the elected officials and the media egging this on, like these guys are the Gestapo. These are the guys that we should take out, physically remove. I could go here and I could show you video after video.
Well,
right,
it's right there.
Of people going ahead and pushing a narrative.
And it's so convenient because people just like Patty, when Trump said peacefully and patriotically, oh, Donald Trump incited the insurrection against America. They know what it looks like then. When it's Donald Trump or it's MAGA, they know what you're talking about then. But let it them actually be the ones that are inciting violence. Then, oh, what's wrong with that? Didn't happen.
You know good and damn well.
Up. You
know good and well that I never said that.
Yes, you did. You just did. You just said, so what? Protected by the Fifth Amendment? So what? What are name calling? You know what you're doing because you don't care about America. You don't give a shit. You see it as a Nazi, white supremacist-based bullshit, and you want to convince other people to feel
you're
that
talking
way.
about somebody else and not me.
So they'll go actually do something like this idiot did because your fucking ass is going to sit right there in that fucking room and talk a bunch of shit online. It's no different than fucking Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon or any one of these creepy ass fucking Marxist pieces of shit doing the same thing. You know what it looks like when MAGA does it, but when you guys are always doing it, you just conveniently straw man argue out of it and fucking make excuses for it. It's pathetic.
First of all, Barry, you understand, and Enrique knows damn well, I never said that he incited that riot. I testified to the opposite of that.
That's
so I don't
not what I said, Patty. Not what I said.
Yes, you just did.
No, I didn't. I said Donald fucking Trump peacefully and patriotically. Dude, you cherry
And when did I ever contradict
that? You cherry fucking pick shit just to make your stupid ass, pointless fucking facts left out arguments, and it's bullshit. But it's indicative to how Democrats operate.
Enrique, don't you have to go get yourself a cup of coffee right now? Mr. Federal Agent, I think you need to get a cup of coffee.
Actually, it's funny.
I think he needs to go get Gavin a cup of coffee.
I'm gonna go get.
I think we just need to see you go get a cup of coffee.
I can't believe I just listened to him. I actually wanted to get coffee. I'm like, I was waiting for the right moment to fucking.
Give
me a second.
I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
Go ahead.
No, you're gonna ruin it now.
What's new?
Cell phone video shows the moments leading up to the shooting. A federal agent pushes a person to the ground and pepper sprays them. Then more officers converge and wrestle a man to the ground, appearing to hit him before at least one agent opens fire and kills the man.
See, that's that very first shot, bro. That was the
backlash was swift. Law enforcement officers used.
What's that on Enrique's chair right there? Yeah, proof positive.
This is why
he's a federal agent.
This is why he wanted.
Take that down. Take that down.
Barry wants that censored immediately.
That's why he wanted him to stand up.
Shut it down. Yeah, that's that. I mean that there's a long time between that first shot and the second and third shot. So I'm not convinced that weapon didn't discharge itself.
It didn't discharge itself.
White supremacy and Nazis discharged it, so we got to go fight them all.
I know you're
talking about things that we're not talking about.
You have to defend SIG.
Any gun can do
it. Any gun can do it. Any gun can
any gun can ND. Absolutely.
So I'm not. I looked and studied this film up close. That's why you guys haven't heard from me. That weapon looked like it fired when the officer was carrying it. And that you can't brush that to the side. The problem is that I wish if that happened that the government would say that.
Yeah,
right?
But they're not going to. Because
that weapon that puts a whole new perspective on this whole situation. Also, what about where he was wearing the weapon? What a fucking dumbass. You never wear a weapon on your back. You never give anybody the opportunity to get your weapon, right? That gun should have either been carried on his side or appendix carried.
This just sounds like a really weak excuse, though, Reno. Like, I mean, like,
no, it's not.
No,
See,
I'm not.
again,
I'm not. Listen,
like
bro. I'm not making an excuse. I'm saying that it's a very tense situation, and until you're put in that situation, you can't Monday quarterback that. You can't.
No, but if you are somebody who gets professionally paid to be in that situation, you're supposed to.
You hear a gunshot. Absolutely, you hear a gunshot. And what the fuck are you gonna do?
Well,
all of that goes out.
I'm saying is, if you're an
to hesitate,
Patty, all of that goes out of the window once the sound of that round goes off. Every bit of fucking training that you have goes out the window, and you go off.
The guy's on his back.
Patty,
the guy's on his
not
back,
every violent situation can be toned down by putting peanut butter on your nuts and licking it off.
Look,
sometimes you have
down
to do
to
something
this.
about it.
But several of them can.
It all boils down to this: you got a pistol on you. Would you or would you not resist a cop?
Absolutely not.
Would not.
Absolutely not resist arrest.
Unless I was suicidal.
You want to resist arrest without having a firearm?
I got pulled over, Enrique, about 2 weeks ago. I got pulled over. I was doing a little bit too much speed. The officer pulled me over, and the first thing I said is, "Officer," I rolled my windows down. "Officer, I have a loaded firearm on my waistband. How would you like to proceed?" He said, "Is it legal?" I said, "Yes." There was no other question. He said, "Keep your hand on the steering wheel." He wrote me off with a warning, and that was it.
Though
Marshall.
I appreciate you. Though I'm sure that cop appreciated you,
and it was a Hispanic cop before someone wants to pull the white privilege shit.
Yeah, though I appreciate. I'm sure that cop appreciated
first,
you doing that. In the state of Florida, you don't have a duty to know.
You don't have a duty to inform in Florida. I was just about to ask you guys that.
But
it doesn't matter.
I'm sure he does appreciate you doing that.
Yeah,
it was total. It was total calm after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Let's zoom out and just look at the overall picture. We've zoomed into this little street corner. Let's zoom out a second. Yesterday, Cam, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
It was yesterday.
Cam released, with the help of many people, released this Signal group, right, which consisted of a lot of people. It consisted of a lot of documents, and it shows a level of organization with government officials, journalists, Antifa activists, little violent fucks. And it showed a level of coordination that we hadn't seen. We've seen it before, but we hadn't seen it with this much enthusiasm. They're pulling up plates. I'm not 100% sure here. Somebody said, "Oh, they have access to some type of law enforcement database." I'm pretty sure as far as plates go, there's an online service for you to look up plates. I might be wrong there.
No, absolutely
They
not.
have to have somebody be able to run.
And they have, and the cops have to have probable cause. They can't just walk into a police station and run your tag for no reason.
So they need to find somebody that's.
So they have access to records. So
Which
somebody's
means they have
giving
somebody
them,
in law enforcement. Yeah.
yeah, and then they're following these things, and then they have a playbook on what to do. Like they have the roles, they have what these roles should do, what the overall goal is. The overall goal is to remove ICE from the city, right? Listen, look, if you want to be a leftist and you want to get ICE out of your city by advocating or holding signs or lobbying, fine. But physically standing in front of cars, physically fighting these ICE agents, that's what's being coordinated in
That's going to get you dead.
And it's going to get you dead. And look, we don't have to assume, right? This happened. It's there. So let me share.
This is the Signal chat right here.
Okay. Yeah, I had it. Okay, go ahead. So, and it was, they were able to get not only like the names on it, but a lot of the content on there and the documents that were shared and pinned to the top of this chat.
Training manual.
There's speculation that one of the people in this chat was the lieutenant governor, right? There's speculation on there. Also, our friend Mercado, and is it his first name? Andrew
Mercado. Yeah.
Andrew Mercado is
Mercado,
in this chat. If you look at the contents of this chat and you compare it to the chats that we were in that they used against our J6 chat, this is way more damning And it does based on the precedent that the government set in our case. This is seditious conspiracy. In order to have a seditious conspiracy, you must conspire with 2 or more people to basically to obstruct any law in the United States. So stopping those officers, just standing in front, coordinating and standing in front of an ICE agent's vehicle is considered seditious conspiracy. And they've gone beyond just standing in front of the vehicles. I mean, just now we just saw the other, I think it was last night on a stream, them beating the shit out of a fucking ICE agent, right?
And he was bleeding.
He was Department Bureau of Prisons.
Yeah. I wonder who Wonder Brad them is.
I mean, yes, it is confirmed that there were Walt's staffers in that.
Yes.
In that.
Yeah, I did see that. And that there is.
There's
confirmed.
also a rumor that there are Canadian officials in that chat. Also, now I can't confirm that, but that is also a rumor that I've heard.
I would assume that there's also some type of investigative force within ICE that's in these chats. Aren't
the Krasensteins in there too?
What they really need is Jared Rockhold to tell them that they're messing up.
Yeah,
this is the type of psychotic shit that they're doing.
Can you give me a zoom on that?
Listen, what if somebody got a hold of that chat?
Just hit control on your keyboard and then roll your mouse.
They should think about their decisions just for a minute.
All right,
oh wait, we lost.
Hey,
it.
look at that.
No. Hang on. I got it.
Right, there you go.
Also, guys, I would like to, while we're looking at this, I would also like to encourage everybody that's watching to find these people on X and wherever they're streaming and support them, because if it wasn't for a lot of the donations that these people are getting, they wouldn't be there, right? So
they're taking pictures of the ICE vehicles. They're telling them where they're located so that they can go and cause problems. Just let these guys do their job. Listen, I would have never thought in a million years that, to me, this should not be a partisan issue. Like, everybody bitches. People on the left and people on the right bitches about the government taking their tax dollars and wanting to have more money in their pockets and the whole 9 yards. And then when there are people who are blatantly stealing it, they're sticking up for them? Well, yeah, it sounds a little hypocritical to me.
So here's another post by Cam that shows like a conversation. Insurrectionists fleeing the state and country. They're talking about fleeing. A tipster.
They should.
Bitch, you need soap. Messaged some of the people in one of the Minnesota insurrectionists' signal chats. The user indicated that she intends to flee the state because we're in so much trouble.
She.
They should flee. I encourage them. Encourage them to leave the fucking country.
Please.
We're all fucked, Sykes said before talking about contacts in Cuba, out of all places. And he thanks Bitch You Need Soap for his excellent work. Let's go ahead and play this a second.
Bitch You Need Soap.
So I'll read this. I'll read this over to you really quick. Psych, what do we need now? Run. Run where? I don't know. Out of the state. I'm leaving tonight. I don't know what's happening. We're in so much trouble. Why would you be in trouble? Relax. Signal's not secure. I worked in communications. Once they figured out where we were, it's only a matter of time. Flan has been exposed. And just to tell you who Flan is, they believe Flan is the lieutenant governor. Yeah. They believe. Again, I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
Should I leave too? Maybe it's best we get out of the country. I have contacts in Cuba. It was thought.
Please go live in Cuba.
Have you been in contact with others? Hopefully everybody knows to get out. No, just logged in. So just telling you, let's bring this out of full screen. So They're going to Cuba, which I don't think it's a good idea. Like, if you want to run, I don't think Cuba's a good idea. I mean, Venezuela.
No, absolutely.
Venezuela got taken out, and Cuba's next. I'm telling you, Trump's going to wait till after the midterms, but Cuba's going down. I had this conversation actually this morning in my house during coffee, where Cuba's going to be a fucking target. We're going to get the Reds out of the Western Hemisphere. So if you want to leave to Cuba, go ahead. We're going to catch you. But why would you want to just like leave, right? Because of everything that was spoken about in this chat, and again, big shout out to Cam for exposing this. This is a treasure trove of just people that are organizing, and not just regular people. It's a fuck ton of people.
You understand? You're making the same argument for the Vietnam War. Like, we got to get the Reds out of here. We can't have another communist country. You're really doing the same thing.
I believe in fucking.
It's absolutely
American supremacy on the Western Hemisphere. No, I
so you can have commies in the Eastern Hemisphere, but not.
Yeah, they could do whatever the fuck they want.
Seriously,
over there.
exactly what threat?
We'll send them American goods. We'll sell them.
What threat is Cuba to us?
Staging base for our enemies. Working with our enemies, allowing.
Yeah, that was 1962. You silly bastard.
They just had Iranian ships there last year. Patty.
Yeah, one thing I didn't know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
One thing I didn't expect today is for Patty to simp for the Cuban government.
He's a fucking communist. He's a fucking commie.
So
I would like to take every single member of the Communist Party in Cuba and drown them in the damn sea.
Yeah, we know.
And we're going to do that. Thank you for supporting President Trump.
There's no point in doing that. That's not going to help anything, because you know what's going to happen? After we get rid of all the commies, another group of commies will grow up. That's what that island is. You just stay away from it.
We're making it cool to take them all out.
Yeah, once you put a Marriott with a Taco Bell in it, dog, they're done.
This is the same regime change bullshit that got us into Iraq, got us into Vietnam, got us into all this stuff. And you guys failed to see.
Listen, McCarthyism would have worked if they would have hit it
with regime change
with an iron fist.
But why are you a fan of regime change here?
Listen, the Cuban people have been fucking oppressed for so long.
So the North Koreans, so are the Chinese. We're gonna do.
But they're on the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yeah, but they're on the Eastern Hemisphere.
Ocean.
Oh,
these people, literally, this country is literally 90 miles away from the United States, and you're gonna. And look who they're associating with. I wouldn't want some of these countries 90 miles away from my house.
What is it? What have they done to us in the last 70 years since the embargo started, or 60 years?
They allowed a Chinese spy system center there that's actually collecting data from America right now as we speak. Look it up.
Yeah, well,
look it up.
You know what? Every single country in the world. I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
dumbass.
you knew. So you knew the whole time, and you were trying to make the argument that they're not doing anything. Shut the fuck up. God, Democrats are.
And we're really tired of
stupid.
I don't think Barry's capable of saying a sentence that doesn't include the word Democrat.
He knew that that Cuba had done that. He just admitted that he knew Cuba allowed China to come in and set a spy center in Cuba that spies on America. You knew this and had the audacity to live on the air say, "What has Cuba done to us lately?" Oh my God.
Absolutely
I'm so glad
insane.
that we had this day, because you actually showed what the problem is with the
I'm actually tired of fucking Enrique's family coming over on 55-gallon fucking drums.
Hey, me too. Me too.
He's running out of room.
Aren't they like 57 Chevys?
Yeah.
It's actually parked.
With those blue bins, those blue fucking 55-gallon bins.
That truck that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, sooner or later they're going to run out.
This guy's going broke having to put them up.
That truck you're talking about is actually parked about like 3 miles from here on the corner with the barrels.
The
barrels, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
his mother currently lives in it, which is weird, but
maybe we can get some better coffee over here.
Yeah, you guys, American coffee sucks, man.
I did make Cuban coffee on the beach for me and Enrique.
Can I just say that the idea that you guys were all against foreign interventions when Trump ran in 2016,
I was not,
and all this stuff. We're against foreign interventions. We don't want to get involved in all this stuff. And now you just all imperialism.
I'm not a hippie
all the time. I'm like, you know what? You guys are outright full of shit. Like outright, completely 100% full of shit.
Nothing's
not a principle.
You really proved that today on this episode, Patty.
Nothing gives me a harder raging boner than the might of the United States military.
I'm not a big interventionalist.
Well, maybe
right?
you should have joined it. You fucking.
I don't agree.
I tried. You guys, you didn't accept me in.
We have so many problems in our own fucking. We have so many problems in our own fucking country. I didn't agree with Venezuela, and maybe that's not a popular opinion, but I didn't. The Cuba, I do agree with because those people are brutalized. I mean, those people are they don't have shit, right? And it's because of their government.
We've tried over and over again to overthrow that regime, and it didn't work. So you want to do it again?
Shut up, Patty. Real quick.
Iran, I agree. I kind of agree with Iran. They do need a regime change. Those people have been that country was absolutely fucking gorgeous, and look what it's turned.
Okay, Dick Cheney, George Bush. I mean, what are we talking about?
Let's once again, convenient for Patty, leave out some of the facts. What Donald Trump did by taking control of Venezuela's oil, that oil was not for us. That oil was for our enemies. Cuba was the first stop in that line supplying Iran, Russia, and China. He just took away 70% of fucking China's oil, most of Cuba's oil. He don't have to go to war with Cuba. He's got him by the balls. There won't be one shot fired.
Hold on a second. We don't have control of anything in Venezuela until we actually can prove that we do. Just because Trump says we're now in charge doesn't mean it's so. He said we were going to be in charge of Greenland. It's all just nonsense.
Patty, it's not as much as it's inconvenient. It's an inconvenient fact for your fucking inconvenient bullshit. It's still a fact. And this guy continues to win, continues to do what he says he's going to do. It's funny just seeing people like Patty flip out and have to straw man argument, chase little factual bullshit that's with false narratives.
Little factual bullshit. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
So Patty, bullshit. I'm very grateful for today because you literally proved what an idiot the Democrats are.
I could probably get on board with Venezuela if the narrative was pushed to why we really did it. Like we talked about saving people's lives and how this and the drugs and blah blah blah. No, just say it was for oil. It's kind of like the Iraq thing again, right? It's kind of like the Iraq thing again, like why we invaded Iraq, weapons of mass destruction. No, that's not why we went there. But
lobbying by contractors.
Yeah. So if you went there for fucking oil, you know what? Maybe I could get on board with that, but I don't want to be lied to, right? The American people don't want to be lied to.
That's what's happening. You're being lied to.
So let's shift over.
Well, I never claimed that we weren't being lied to, Patty. You know that. You know how I feel about the regime, this administration.
Okay, so I want to shift over to the legal, right? Cassandra McDonald states, arrest everyone in the chat. J6 set precedent. Noble One wasn't even in D.C. Just chat, round them up, give them 20 years. And then she's quoting this quote by Erica, another follower of mine. Alyssa Pollock, found in the now infamous Minneapolis Ice Watch Signal chat, is an employee of the Minnesota Department of Education. The rot runs deep. Keep exposing. So, obviously this is a very low level government official, but the question lies, and I typed about this morning, right? Let me take this off the screen.
Well, Cam also tried to get into another chat that was a vetted chat, and it was only for educators. So they have people in that are also educating your children, right? That are sitting in the school teachers and school administrators and stuff.
I'm sure, Barry, when you talk to your attorney, at some point during this whole thing, they told you asked them, and I think many J6ers asked, actually any criminal defendant asks, how did they get me? He's like, well, they could indict a ham sandwich.
Basically.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that is like every criminal defense attorney's go-to line, because it's true. They could, there's so many laws on the books that they could arrest you for anything at any time. Right? So tell me why we haven't been able to indict some of these individuals, why we haven't been able to indict
the actual ham sandwiches.
Yeah. So, we always joke around in a non-joking fashion that women are great at making sandwiches, but it seems like Pam Bondi's ability to make a ham sandwich is not just subpar. She's making it impossible to make ham sandwiches. And our resident awesome sandwich maker, Kim, I'd like to hear from you on this. And
You
why
said sandwich
the
eater?
inability.
Well, I mean, we could swoop into Venezuela and conduct arrests, but we can't figure out how the fuck to do it here, and it's just a further failing on behalf of our wonderful government, who we love so much.
Well, not only that, Kim, hell, look at all the people from J6 they geo-tracked because of their phones.
Well, I mean, I was helping with a story about this that actually I don't think I ever got published, but the night of January 6th, there was hotels across DC where the police were barricading people inside the hotels. And again, this is alleged, but the assumption is that they were doing this under the presumption that they might even start arrests that night. So it even comes down to that. We know that there's laws that have been broken. They know that the American people have been betrayed. We know that there are actual charges, not just spaghetti on the wall charges that you can just fling at anybody, that should be brought down on serious people. But this is, reminiscent of the pre-2020 era. Like, great, you're going to get on True Social and on Twitter, and you're going to tweet about it, and you're going to say big things, and you're going to flex like you're going to do something, and then completely let everybody down. Like, that's just the MO at this point.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with that.
Barry?
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous that they don't have arrest yet. I think Kim said it brilliantly when she said we can go to frickin' Venezuela and implement arrest, but we can't do it here. They weaponized the DOJ against us. They sent FBI at us with no problem, and I mean, I don't understand why we don't see it here. And I really contribute a lot of it to the Patriot Act until we amend that from its ability to harass the American people, which it was never intended to do, but all it does now. We're going to continue to see ourselves in this situation. Until you had the FBI knock on your fucking door and your family's door, you really don't know what that shit feels like.
Yeah.
Look, I can tell you that the reason that this happens,
Patty, before you go, because I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you a question, let you talk. Based on how you saw, and I know you've said it a million times, you disagree with us getting arrested and prosecuted as further as we did. Why do you think it's if we were going to use that standard, right? Why is it so hard to get these people? And then go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Well, I was going to say exactly what I'm going to say now. It's incompetence, right? You elected an idiot president of the United States who has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and he hired a bunch of idiots to work for him. Why do you think there's any administration, Republican or Democrat, left or right, who would have thought that Pam Bondi was a good idea to be the Attorney General? Do you think that any Republican or Democratic administration would think that Kash Patel is qualified to be the director of the FBI? Fucking hell no. Nobody in their right mind would have picked those two imbeciles out of a country of 320 plus million people. There have to be at least 1,000 people who are qualified to be Attorney General, and there must be equally the same amount that would be qualified to be the FBI director. And he picked Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. Like, the man is an imbecile. He's not only an imbecile, but now he's a senile imbecile. And this is what you're going to get. So if you want results, you should have elected somebody else, but you didn't.
So you believe that if he would have picked the right person, we'd be seeing a lot more arrests.
Sure.
Okay.
But
I can actually agree with that. I can.
Do you believe those arrests are warranted, Patty?
I mean, it depends on who you're talking about.
Well, that's why I gave it. I
mean, on a case by case basis, I could give you an opinion, but if
based
you're
on
looking
precedent,
for the results that you want,
based on precedent with us, do you think that those arrests are possible?
With who? You got to. I mean,
no. I'm just saying across. All right, just people in the Signal chat that are, just in general. I'm just asking you generally.
I think a professional prosecutor, a really professional prosecutor, could, if you wanted to, arrest any number of people that they disagree with politically, and do it in a way that might actually stick. But Pam Bondi, this is one of the things that I love to say, is if you're being investigated in Congress by Jim Jordan and James Comer, you have absolutely nothing to be worried about. You can go to sleep easy every night because they're incompetent idiots. These people are so silly that they're not being taken seriously by any court at any time. And if the federal courts and the Supreme Court doesn't take Pam Bondi seriously, she shouldn't be the attorney general. And nobody in their right mind would have nominated her to be attorney general in the first place, except that Trump just likes sycophants and pretty blonde girls. And that's it. That's what happened. Listen, he got Lindsey Halligan just got the boot. Every lawyer he hires looks like a supermodel and fucks up in court. You know what I mean? How many times does this have to happen? He hired
Lena
Dan
Haba is hot
Bongino.
as shit.
And
he hired Dan Bongino to be the damn, and nobody
No,
gets
hold
to bust
on,
my
Patty.
balls.
I'm not going to let you talk shit about Dan Bongino. We need to bring him back. We need to bring him back so he could get.
Because I know your boy Ivan. Him and Ivan are like this. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
we need to bring back Bongino so we could get these arrests, man. I think this. I think the second time around, Bongino would needs to. Be
absolutely. Why not retread him? It's just there's one word is the answer. It's incompetence. Incompetence.
I'll tell you what.
And with Trump at this point, it may be incontinence as well.
I think.
I don't know. Man, as long as you trust the plan, it's all going to happen, dude.
Yeah,
I don't.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Look, I think that at the end, Trump thought that these people were going to be fucking chainsaws. I think he made poor choices when it came to these people because they probably overpromised. You think Kash Patel. I was so excited about Kash Patel, right? I was so excited about Bongino. I'm like, oh man, this guy talks so much shit on his podcast. He has some law enforcement background. I go, this guy's going to clean slate. Nothing happened.
Yeah. Patel, I don't trust anybody who's cross-eyed in the first
place. The only
don't.
ones that I see in the administration right now that are actually doing something are the dude from the Border Patrol and the goddamn
Bovino.
Bovino and the other dude that talks really funny, the big goofy guy. Those guys are actually doing
the president.
Put Stephen Miller. I think if you put Stephen Miller in charge of DOJ or Matt Gaetz, I think you'll get that buzz.
What's that dude's name, man? The guy
you want to get a badass prosecutor? I mean, AG. Wait till DeSantis has to come off as governor and put him as the AG.
Yeah,
that dude will pull every lever, push every button that needs to be done to get these arrests in order. And I think I disagree.
Even the right wouldn't confirm him, dude.
But who, DeSantis?
Yeah, I don't think anybody in
I think they will. I think
Congress.
I think he'll pass Senate muster maybe with a vote from
Trump would never allow that to happen.
I think Trump absolutely will.
I'm worried about who the fuck we're gonna have after fucking DeSantis.
Looks like Byron Donalds.
No, Mr. fucking A. Listen, we don't need APAC Secure, man.
We're gonna get Byron.
APAC Secure, I like that one. That's pretty good.
I think we're gonna get. Look, I like Fishback. I just don't think he's trying. I don't think he's trying to win.
We need to jump on this Fishback guy, dude. That dude.
Listen, we could jump on it, but I don't think his goal is to win. I think. Look, I love his ideas. I think but I think he's trying to pose for the camera a little bit too much, which is crazy coming from me.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. But what would be the kick in the ass is that if we actually hyped this guy up enough and he actually got elected, that would be hilarious, dude.
So I think we talked about this the other day, Barry, about the Florida governor. Not to switch subjects, but we're about to close out here. I like this Fishback guy, and I do know that Byron probably isn't the best suited for the job.
Apex Secure,
but I do have a bias, and I'm clear. I wear my bias on my shoulder. Byron was one of the ones that did come to our defense and came to DC, and I didn't get to meet him. You did.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there.
You did meet him though.
Barry did meet him.
I did meet him.
Yeah.
So, I do like. I won't be like completely upset if Byron Donalds is the next governor. Do I prefer a character like Fishback? Maybe just by 5 or 10%. I think he focuses on the wrong things. But what do you think, Barry?
No, I mean, it would be great to have a populist, like Fishback takeover. But Trump already threw his hat in the game, and Florida is Florida. We know the way Florida votes when it comes to conservatives.
Yeah.
So that there's that, and again, Byron was one of the ones that came out of the woodwork from the beginning and defended all of us, not just the select few or the ones without violent charges. He was for blanket pardons, almost from day one. So
yeah, I can understand that. But
so with that said, I'll have everybody's last words on this, and then I'll go around the table to close it up. But let's start with Kim. Kim, final words on Minnesota.
I mean, I think that if you believe that we're gonna deport tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people without violent interactions, then I've got a fucking bridge to sell you. If you think that we're just gonna uproot people and have them go voluntarily, that's incredibly naive. And I think we should be prepared for things to escalate. I think we should also understand that freedom of speech and the freedom to gather and the freedom of expression are not licenses to interject yourself into dangerous situations and not expect dangerous outcomes. And I also think it's about time. I mean, everybody's saying it across the side of the aisle, at least. It's time to sign the Insurrection Act. It's time to actually put real hardened boots on the ground and not just these guys who obviously are in over their heads. I think that in order to obtain our goal of more deportations, we have to accept the fact that people who are stupid are going to get themselves into situations like this time and time again. And when the law enforcement officers might hold some blame, we need to be willing to accept that. As I said before, when we're talking about this accidental discharge, are they within their rights to respond to a gunfire? Absolutely. But is this a situation where there might be further analysis and there might need to be some blame to be placed? Again, absolutely. But again, we need to be rational about the conversation and we need to be honest about the conversation, because this isn't going to be an isolated incident. And if we handle it incorrectly, we're going to lose a lot of people.
Rob.
I guess I'll just leave with this. Governor Tim Walz called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him and that we are looking for any and all criminals that they have in their possession. The governor very respectfully understood that, and I will be speaking to him in the near future. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota. Don't get in their way. If you get in their way, you will be arrested, sprayed in the face, and if you have a weapon on you and you pull it out on them, you're going to die. Go and protest. Exercise your First Amendment. Exercise your Second Amendment. Don't stand between them and a person that they're arresting. You've inserted yourself into a situation that you have no right to insert yourself into. These are illegal criminals that we are trying to get out of this country. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Reno.
Yeah, guys. Also, if you want more of what is Cam's doing, if you want more of what these guys are doing, if you would like what they're doing, support them. Right, go to their X, go to their whatever, and help them out. Right, they have to live there. A lot of these guys, this is their job. So support those guys. Also, I like to hear that Walz is kind of caving. That's a good thing. We it's kind of like the president. If you root for his downfall, then you're gonna fucking have a downfall too, right? So I like that he's reaching out. I like that there might be a compromise. That's good. Good on them. And to echo what Rob said, if you see things going on, then don't interject yourself. You're just asking for a hard time.
Patty.
I never thought in my adult life I would encounter a bunch of right wingers who were so eager to lick the boots of federal officers. But here we are. The reality is, I believe that it's this simple. You guys just decide if somebody is on your side, they can do no wrong. If they're not on your side, they should shut their mouths and protest peacefully, far away from everybody else, and don't actually make any difference. Just whisper in the corner, and that's fine. And Barry, you are a lot less funny than you think you are, but you're almost funny. So I'll give you.
We're just going to completely gloss.
I'm the only one who gets interrupted, right? Like everybody gets to say their piece, but as soon as I start talking, I get interrupted, and then I get somebody up. I get Rob playing games with the switcher, and then Kim wants to talk over me.
That wasn't me. Go fuck yourself.
I just waited for you to finish speaking. So again, you want to?
No, I wasn't done speaking. Actually,
this is our whistle and bullhorn.
Listen, you fucking cocksucker. Go fuck
you guys
yourself,
love
Ted.
whistle. You guys love whistles and bullhorns. So this is our whistle and bullhorn.
It's just unbelievably predictable that I'll be the one who gets interrupted.
There you go. There you go. All on you, Patty.
Maybe if you weren't such a complete moron, you wouldn't need to get interrupted. And maybe if you didn't just blatantly lie about what just happened. I literally said that there needs to be accountability where accountability holds. You're calling me a bootlicker for saying that
you are a bootlicker. At best.
Are they like
best?
Are they like Doc Martin boots?
On a good day with the wind blowing out and the sun in your eyes, you're a bootlicker.
Get it over with.
All right, Barry.
Well, when it comes to my boots, I only celebrate the white lace. I believe the white lace is the superior lace in those boots. So my boots always have white laces. So here's to that. And
I wore white laces in my boots.
Shut your
almost 10
fucking
years.
mouth, Patrick. Thank you. Shut up. All right. So, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by that thing down there, that they, them. I really just want people to be reminded that you did vote. We did vote for this. America showed up en masse on November 5th, despite the propaganda from the left saying that Donald Trump was Hitler, which they're still doing. Besides the propaganda from the media and all the Democrat politicians, Trump still won. And he won to inflict mass deportations of the border that was left wide open from the previous administration, one in which people like Patty said nothing about, in fact, egged on. Still, here we are. So we know the propaganda machine that is coming. We have seen nothing yet. The Renee Good and this pretty guy, whatever it is, we haven't seen nothing yet. They're coming with a propaganda machine like no tomorrow. So people like Patty will get on here and sit there and tell half narratives and bullshit stories to try to promote their revolution, because all they care about in the end is the death of America and the culture that it represents. That's it. And they know they're lying. They know they're full of shit, and they don't care, because all they care is about the revolution. Show up to those primaries and midterms, ladies and gentlemen, or this crap that we've seen from Patty today will be a widespread issue.
You know what? Why don't you one of these days, Barry, go on a show with five liberals and get just shit thrown at you the entire time and hold your own. And see exactly how well you do, because I whipped your ass, all of you, for the last hour and a half.
It's easy when you lie and you leave out facts. It's easy to convince yourself.
Reno, did I give you?
Don't forget, 1776.shop is where you can go to support us. The American Rising store has the most spiciest and offensive against liberal gear that you can find. You can be the judge of that when you go to 1776.shop.
And pretty soon you can get one of these.
And I'm going to wipe my ass with everyone that's made out of here.
Hey, if you pay for it, you can do what you want.
Hey, Reno, did I give you a shot?
You did, sir.
Okay. All right. So here's my take. My closing statements here. So in 2016, the most pressing issue and the most polarizing issue, but the issue that Trump supporters voted for was build a wall, right? Build a wall, besides the actual physical wall, meant immigration. We have a huge immigration problem, and everything's downstream from our immigration problem here in the United States. We gave Donald Trump a second chance in 2020, but they stole the election. And we gave Donald Trump a third chance in 2024. This immigration issue is what the majority of voting Americans, and I believe the majority of Americans, are focused on, and they see it as a true problem. That is why we see so many ICE agents on the streets. It wasn't because Donald Trump put them there. It's because we wanted them there. This is what we wanted. This is what we voted for. If the left continues with their physical and violent resistance, I think it's going to be met with force. And I don't think anybody wins on that, because this has turned into a team sport. And I completely, I don't like it, but this is a reality of the situation.
You love team sports.
I do love team sports, and I'm ready to play it, and I'm playing it, right? Because I'm already convinced that this is a team sport and we can't get away with it. There's many conservative influencers and people with big followings that are like, oh, well, there's multiple avenues here. One is like, oh, well, I don't like too much that ICE is doing this, or the propaganda that they're doing in the Twitter feed. I don't care. My thing is the end goal, and ICE is doing its job. I believe ICE actually is one of the only constitutional agencies that is out there, right? Because if you look, it's the federal government's goal. Pretty much only responsibilities to protect us from enemies, foreign and domestic. So removing these illegal aliens is part of their goal. I've seen a lot of these people, including myself, call for the Insurrection Act. I'm calling for it for a different reason. I don't want the implementation of the Insurrection Act to be limited to just Minneapolis or Minnesota, for that matter. I want it to be implemented, and the focus needs to be in DC and Virginia. They need to go into these buildings. They need to arrest these people that are fomenting these acts of sedition, not just for what we saw in Minnesota, but what we saw in 2020, what we saw, the weaponization of government during the Biden administration, some of which is still happening under Attorney General Pam Bondi. They need to take all their records. They need to take all their communications. They need to indict and sentence these people. And I believe that the Insurrection Act is a tool in order to do that. And many people are saying, well, I don't think that we should, it's just playing into their hands on the Insurrection Act, and that's going to give fuel for the midterms for Democrats. I don't care, right? Because there isn't a world where on January 20th of 2029, no matter who wins or who steals the election, that they will not weaponize the government against Trump. How many of you that are in the audience right now that are listening, remotely doubt that when Trump leaves office, that within 30 to 60 days, he won't be indicted again, or this New York trial happens again, or that they don't reinstate Jack Smith, of which Patty has a tattoo on his back of Jack Smith.
Yay.
Reinstate Jack Smith as a special prosecutor. You don't doubt it.
I'm still shooting that fucking thing with an airsoft gun, Patty, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know.
You don't doubt me because it's true. So we need to fight fire with fire, and we need to take a page out of their fucking playbook, and we need to implement the Insurrection Act no matter the cost. The filibuster needs to be lifted. Voter ID laws need to be implemented. And the president's agenda need to be codified. You could remove the filibuster after that. I don't give a shit, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. There's two worlds that conservatives are living in, and their futures, the future that they see are two different ones. Some people tell me, well, you shouldn't be so hard on Pam Bondi because she's working on things. Let's play that out. And let's say that we continue down this path and nothing happens in 2029. In my world, and the world of most Republicans, we want them indicted and we want them sentenced. The world that I live in and the future that I envision is 10 times better than the world of those that still side with Pam Bondi as Attorney General. So I want you to take a look at those two paths and see which one's better for America as we have voted for and as we want. And just pick one. Pick one with the end result. My world, all these fuckers and these faggots and these retards would be in prison. In Pam Bondi's world, we wait. By this time, a year into the Biden administration, There was already 600 January 6th arrests. That doesn't include everything that happened outside of January 6th that the government was weaponized, for those people that were weaponized against. So Merrick Garland was a more effective attorney general than Pam Bondi could ever be. We need to fire Pam Bondi, and we need to put somebody more competent in there that will make these arrests, because if they don't, we're all going to hang together and we're going to be next to each other. And when they put that rope around my neck, I'm going to have a smile on my face, because I'm going to be able to turn to the person on my left that's simping for Pam Bondi and tell you, I told you so. So with that, I'm going to close just as a final word. Do you guys have any shows or anything that are coming up?
Yeah, my show today at 5.
Okay.
Tomorrow night at 7.
Tomorrow night at 7. You got Patty from Patty Don't Surf. Today at 5, Rob is going to be putting his show together with the adjacent space. So please watch that. Go to the Warboys Studios Twitter account and turn on those post notifications so you guys can be notified when we go live. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys, and we're going for outro. And somebody fucked up my outro, so. And put me.
That was not me.
That was definitely you.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are.